everyone. Welcome to Watch Autumn Keto, hashtag Whack Wednesday. This is my channel where I go live every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, talking about, keto and assorted health and wellness topics, right? So, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, you can subscribe to our other channel, the Weathers channel, where we go live every Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to subscribe to both channels and ding that notification bell so that you get notified whenever we go live on either channel or post a new video on either channel. You can find us here on the internet right here at Watch Autumn Keto, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, right? Or you can get you some Keto Strong gear by going to IamKetoStrong.com.
To represent
like
each of us are.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not representing. I'm not representing. Yeah, like one of us is. I'm excited because we have a special guest tonight, and we'll talk a little bit more. Not you. You were not the special guest. No, Mom, no one from the advisory committee is the special guest.
Okay.
But before we get into that, let me get through a few comments, because people on here announcing the order that they chime in, right? So Brianna's here, says first, good evening, WAC fam. Jen says, I was first, but I was Googling mass singer clues. If you don't comment, were you really first? That's the question,
It's like the tree in the forest thing.
Yes, exactly. Joyce said, good evening, amazing WAC fam. Pray you all had an awesome day. Jerry Van West is here. Barry is here. Brianna said, I've been going into Clubhouse lately. It's weird going into a space with all these people I don't know and they don't know me. I'm so used to being with the WAC and Two Crazy Ketos where I recognize the names. Yeah, that's how I felt, Brianna. When I first joined Clubhouse, I'm like, I thought I knew everybody in the keto space. And then I joined Clubhouse, and when I tell you, I know absolutely no one, but apparently they've been in the keto space for years too. And I'm like, how have y'all been keto and making content for as long as me, but I have no idea who you are, right?
It's like you never come up on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm never on Instagram, so I don't know any of those people, but I know them now.
Like really Facebook heavy.
Yeah, nope. Like I'm only on YouTube, right? So
it's about your media.
So none of them were big YouTubers, so I don't know. I didn't know who any of them were. So
pseudo, facto, switcho, change them.
Switcho, change them, just like my husband said, right? So yeah, that was really fun. We were just on Clubhouse. I saw a bunch of y'all on Clubhouse. Yeah, I know, right? Joe Ray was there on stage. I love people that hop up and talk on Clubhouse. Joe Ray is on stage a lot. Jen comes up on stage and shares in the morning. Renee comes up. I know, and shares sometimes. So I'm excited about that.
I'll be there, but I'm in the very back of the crowd.
You're not there. You're not there. You're not listening. No. Okay, but speaking of excited, I am excited tonight to introduce a special guest. I'm even more excited because we're going to make this a monthly segment or a monthly, like a theme for hashtag Whack Wednesday. The first Wednesday of every month, we're going to be talking all things fitness with the one, the only Coach Bronson. Pew, 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 pew. There he is. Okay, good. I'm still learning. Oh, let me turn that background off because I have the background from Keto Palooza. That's confusing. So it is a nice background. So let's see if we can. Okay, let's change it to the leaves of that. Okay, Coach, the autumn leaves. Coach Bronson, welcome to hashtag Whack Wednesday. I'm so glad that you're here with us this evening.
I'm so glad to be on here. This is fantastic. I've been watching ever since Keto Palooza. I've been watching here and there, and you guys have a great group here. I'm glad to be part of it.
Thank you so much. Yes, and we're glad that you are part of it, and that we're glad to have you on. I'm excited. All I got is to talk to this zany guy every day. So I'm glad to have some normalcy. Somebody with some logic and common sense.
Someone here.
That's what you think.
Well, I don't know what I done got into. Right?
So me and Bronson, we simpatico.
Yeah,
simpatico. That's right. It's that not quite man crush thing, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was a man. What did you call it? Like a man
bromance.
It was a bro. It wasn't a bromance. It was like a bro dance, or it was something. I was like,
it was something very smart and very in the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Very made up off the top of his head, right? So everyone, be sure. So Coach Bronson, first a little bit, I'm going to let you tell a little bit about yourself and like what your areas of expertise and passion are. And then I think that'll let people know what questions to ask you. So everyone, listen to what Coach Bronson does and then ask. This is the title of tonight's live is What is Fitness? So he's going to be telling us a little bit about that, but like any of your fitness questions and things that go not only with fitness, but maybe how keto works into that and all of that, type them in the chat and we'll just be answering questions throughout the night.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. Yeah, how much time do I have? I can go on.
The good point.
About good old 20 to 25 minutes.
Okay, just about me. Oh my gosh, no, I'm kidding. So I'm almost 50. I'll be 50 in May of next year. I did start it. So this is one of the things that I'm really passionate about. My focus is I didn't get started until I was almost 40. So I'm super, super in touch and super focused on helping people understand that it's never too late. It doesn't matter where they're coming from, what they've done, what they haven't done, where they are physically, whatever. You can do something. So, when we did the thing at Keto Palooza, we had that movement session in the morning. One of the things I wanted to remind everybody is, stop focusing on what you can't do and start focusing on what you can do. Do some research, ask questions. It's about what you can do, because if you can focus on what you can do, then you can move forward. If you focus on what you can't do, then you're stuck, right? You don't have any options, right? It's all about finding options. Right. So that's one thing I'm really big on. It's never too late. You can get started anytime. So I started when I was just almost 40. I was not in good shape. I found, you heard the story. My daughter took a picture of me at the beach, and I saw that picture, and it was just like, everyone has that moment where they get slapped in the face with something about themselves, whether it be health, whether it be looks, whether it be energy, relationships, something happens and you go, wait, something's just got to change. And that was it. That was the initial one for me. So I started doing things just real quick. For me, the biggest challenge that I have, and to this day, I still have to second guess that thought process at times, is, you were talking about French fries last night at Five Guys, right? And it made me think, like, it took me, the first thing that I did for my health was stop eating French fries. It took me a year to get to the point where I not eat French fries anymore.
Wow.
So that was step number one, right? The fitness didn't even come in first, right? It was more just, that type of thing. So that was a step along the process. And it's been, 10, 12 years since I started this process. And, I spent the last 10 years in fitness. I've been a coach. I'm a personal trainer. I owned a CrossFit gym for about 5-6 years. And now I do everything virtually. So I have a virtual program that people can subscribe to that kind of helps them identify where they are and what they can do to get things started. So I do a lot of different things. My biggest thing is education about this topic. What is fitness? Because what people think fitness is so far off base.
Yes. And I agree. And that's why I really enjoyed your presentation at Keto Palooza, because it was so simple. And I think that's what made it so impactful. Like, it wasn't complicated, right? Fitness is not this unattainable, thing. It's something that we can really strive for every day, no matter where we are, right? And like you said, not focusing on what you can't do.
And it's in your everyday life.
It's exactly.
We move
Absolutely.
the movie every day.
Look, I can't squat and bend over and pick up anything anymore without, Coach Bronson, squat. Are you hinging? What is that? Are you pushing and pulling?
Everything we do throughout the day,
it's horrible.
You can utilize it to its maximum.
No, that's good. That makes me feel really good. I'm glad that you took that to heart, because even in the gym, I tell people it's crazy the mentality that we have about training versus real life. So even in the gym, when I'm coaching a client or I'm coaching a class and everyone's doing squats, right? We got bars, they got weights, they're doing their squats. They're like, I want this to be perfect. The minute that bar touches the ground and they have to put their weights away, then all of a sudden they're not squatting, they're not deadlifting, they're not doing anything anymore. So everything goes out the window. And I got to stop them and say, look, just because you're not doing this specific exercise right now doesn't mean the movement changes when you go do something else.
Yes. And that is so true. Richard and I, we actually do this little side gig where I have been having to bend over and pick up things recently, repeatedly. And the first day that we did it, the next day I woke up, my back hurt, and I was just like, oh my God, my back hurts. And it was from all the bending over, because it's pretty much bending over to where I have to touch my toes and pick up things. And so the next day that we did it, I made it a point to actually squat and use my knees to lower down and come back up. And my back pain just completely went away,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm not picking up heavy things. It's the motion of like bending over, right? What did you do?
Nothing. This is how much I love you.
Yeah, exactly. So Coach Bronson, you kind of mentioned something that I want to like ask more about.
Yeah.
Is like when you saw that picture of yourself and you were like, okay, something's got to change. Did you immediately try like go on a diet, or like did you try like a diet or food-based approach and then fitness came into it? Or because you said like the first major thing you did was cut out French fries, is that because you were on Weight Watchers? Is that because you were doing something, you know, like what approach did you take?
No, that was for me. That was like when I evaluated, did that little introspection. Okay, something's got to change. What's got to change? It was one of those things that you're doing that you shouldn't do. It was like right there. It was like right in front of your face. Like I know this is something I shouldn't be doing, and it was apparent enough. It was in my face enough as an obvious thing I needed to change. That it kind of just made sense that would be the first thing I did. And I didn't really think about it in the process at the time. I didn't think about it in the idea of this is the first thing I'm going to do. It was more like, I got to do something. What can I do? Okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then as that progressed and it got to that point of, okay, so I stopped eating French fries. I don't feel like I'm like, that's an issue now. Then what's next? Right. So then you ask that question. And then it got into the bread and the processed carbs and things like that. I need to go more whole foods. And I went from a really bad, I don't remember if I went through this in Keto Palooza, what I used to eat. You want to, so let's go over what
Yes, please.
Give us.
So my day, and this was, I want to say this is almost every single day. It wasn't like this was sometimes, this was every day. Get up in the morning, go to Dunkin' Donuts, get a cup of coffee with cream and sugar. Okay, extra sugar. Get 2 of the egg and sausage or egg and bacon little mini wraps, right? Because there's low carb, healthy mini wraps, right?
Yeah.
Also get 1 or 2 Boston cream donuts.
No, that undoes it. No.
Okay, so that was breakfast.
Wow.
At lunchtime, I would go to Red Robin.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Bottomless fries.
Bottomless fries. I would eat 2 baskets at lunch.
Oh my goodness.
Along with my burger of
Yeah.
either bacon cheeseburger or a chili cheeseburger or something like that. And if I was really feeling hungry, I'd eat all that and then maybe get a cheese dog, something like that, right?
Wow.
After that, then I'd go have dinner in the evening, and dinner was most of the time it was 1 of 2 options. It was either a large thin crust Domino's meat lovers pizza.
Wow.
That I would eat the whole thing.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, at least it was
Not even part of it. I would eat the
At
whole
least
thing.
it was thick crust. That's crazy.
Or it was a order of pad thai with double chicken and 2 sides of spring rolls.
Oh, geez.
Wow. And like a side of spring rolls comes with like 2 or 3.
Yeah. I was like, you said rolls plural.
That was my normal day.
But the crazy thing is, that's a lot of people's normal day. And then guess what? On Sunday, they go to Olive Garden, right? Like it's just like, it's like people think that's normal.
So, I hadn't even thought about the weekend. So at the time that this was all happening, not right at the time, this was slightly after that. There was a period of time where I was doing all of that. But then I was also bouncing on the weekends. So Friday and Saturday night, I was out at the bar. I was up till 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. There may have been alcohol involved in all of that, right? And my weekends were just shot. So it was not just the bad eating, but I had 3 or 4 days a week of staying up late, drinking alcohol, partying, doing whatever else. So it was bad. It was really bad.
That's crazy. And that just goes to show like that there's no, like you said, there's nowhere that you can't come back from. There's never too late to start, and you're never too far gone, right? Your habits are never too bad. You've never been doing something for too long to be able to start.
But
that is
in our
amazing.
minds, we assume such.
Yeah.
So that way,
and I think we assume such because we think that fitness is hard, because we think that, okay, to do this thing, to become this other person, it's going to be this really complex
or you
and
gotta
complicated
go to a
thing.
gym, buy a membership, spend $200 on an outfit,
yes,
and go. But you don't need
Just start today, right now.
It's just,
So Maitreya has a question before we, as we're talking about the basics of fitness. It says, question, what's your opinion on heart rate variability? I started a tracking and breathing program with Greg Elliott. It's different. It's different your way of saying
right? Different's
it's
the nice
different,
way. It's
But what are your thoughts on
unique.
heart rate variability?
So we can talk that's that's one of those things that for most people, it's you're gonna hear there's gonna be a lot of questions that I'm gonna say for most people it doesn't matter, because for most people it doesn't matter, because for most people it's a matter of just trying to get their body to be able to do more, and that's the basics, where heart rate variability, burn zones, right, heart rate zones, protein timing, fasted workouts. Like there's so many things that people use when they mix stuff into the fitness bowl that doesn't need to be there. So
and I love
heart
that.
rate
And that was pretty
variability,
much,
heart rate variability can be an interesting marker for recovery and how you're doing in your training. The best way to tell if you're recovering and how you're doing is just to monitor and track your training. That's really
like your ability to like increase
if you go a week and you work out and at the end of the week you're like, I feel like crap, then you probably did it too hard. There was something that you did that you probably didn't need to do. Maybe you should have listened to your body on Wednesday and taken a rest instead of training. Right. So learning your body and how your body reacts to the things that you're doing, tracking your performance. If you're consistently doing something and you're looking at your trends and your performance is consistently going down, then that tells you you're overdoing something and you need to make an adjustment.
And that's something that you can do on your app, which I absolutely love. You guys, I put a link to the app. Now, is there a discount with my code or like with my link, or is it just like a link to?
It's just a link for you to get. Yeah.
I mean, but hello, it's all reasonably priced anyway. So there's a beginner program. And tell us a little bit about that. And then there's the advanced or the functional fitness program. I have a link to both of them in the description of this video.
Yeah. So both of them can be for beginners. Just one is a little bit more accessible from the number of workouts, and it's really simple stuff. So the beginner program is 3 days a week. Okay. You get 3 workouts a week. You can do them on any days. They're published in the app as Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but you can do them on any day. The same with the other one. You can do any of the workouts any day you want. The bodyweight workouts are designed so that you're getting a full body workout every day that you do it. There's always a warm up. There's always a cool down. Okay. Because I want you to prepare your body to do the work. You're going to do the work and then you're going to recover from the work. That's a process.
Yes.
Now,
yes.
For both programs, and ask Joe Ray about this. If you haven't done anything for a while, I recommend maybe just do the warm up for a couple days. There's nothing that says in any, just like nutrition, there's nothing that says in any of this that you have to do all of it, right?
Yeah.
Do a part, do what you're comfortable with until you can do more, right? Do what you can until you can do more, then you do more. Just keep that in mind.
I did some burpees, but I had to skip something else. I was like, nope, I did the burpees, so I'm skipping through this. I'm marking as complete. That's one of the things I really like about the app is that you can mark things complete. Like I'm a checklist person. I'm a checkbox. There's something about checking something off a checkbox that really drives me to like want to hit every step. So my whole thing was, at least if I did at least one thing in each of the sections, I'm like,
absolutely. So the thing about the thing that really makes the bodyweight program and the functional fitness program a little bit different is, one, it's bodyweight only. So you don't need any equipment, just you and your body. Okay. Now you might need a bench or a couch or a table or something to modify some things with. But it's the same 3 workouts every week, each month. Okay. So workout one is always workout 1 of each week of the month. Workout 2 is always workout 2 of each week of the month. And workout 3 is always workout 3, because I want to do a couple of things. Thinking about beginners, if you've not done stuff or it's been a while, I want you to get used to doing the movements throughout the entire month. So I'm not going to throw a bunch of things at you every week and have you try to figure something new out every week. Okay. The other thing is, you can see from the first week to the last week an immediate impact in how you've gotten better.
Yeah, because you're doing
Because
the
you're
exact
doing
same
the
exercise to compare it to. That's really smart.
Comparison.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the thing about the beginner program. The functional fitness program is also for beginners or intermediate. It can be also for advanced. So I'm doing it right now. So I do it. Like if you saw my post on YouTube yesterday, I did yesterday's workout, right? It's what I'm doing. So you can scaling and modification is really cool, right? And scaling and modification is the idea that you take an exercise and you modify it to meet a person's specific ability, whether it be experience, injury, whatever it may be, so that they get the most out of the exercise. So for me, as an advanced athlete, let's say, if I see what's in the workout and I go, there's things that I can do to make that more challenging for me, then I can modify and scale to a more difficult or complex level. For someone who's never done anything, then you can modify and scale for a more simple or less intense level, right? So everything goes, it can go all the directions.
Yes.
The functional fitness program is 5 workouts a week, and it changes every week. So no week is the same. Every week changes.
Yes.
Is that what you do?
Yes, that's the one I do. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
She's loving it.
everything's listed out. And I'm just like, no. But once again, I just got to check that check box. I got to check.
And once you get used to it, so there's a little bit of a learning curve, right? As you kind of get used to how the app works and see the format of everything. The cool thing about the at home, the functional fitness program is every 3 months we do a benchmark week. So every 3 months there's a whole week of the same workouts every 3 months. So you get to see every 3 months how you're progressing in those specific things.
To do the comparison.
Also, every week, one portion of a workout is going to be a benchmark every 90 days. So every week, there's some level of testing to kind of say, hey, I've done this before. How did I do last time? I was able to go faster, do more reps, use more weight. I didn't have to scale this movement, whatever it is. So there's always a way to kind of see that progress and have something to celebrate.
That's awesome. And I love about the app is that like you put in your the weight that you're using and then how many reps of it you did, and like it keeps track of it. So like at the end of the workout, it tells you like a total volume. Like I lifted 5,000 pounds this workout, but if you're just doing like the same, because it counts every time you lift like 20-pound dumbbells and things. It's really neat. And there's like a stopwatch function, like so many like interval timers. Like it's really like an all-in-one sort of situation, right? As long as you have your phone, you can pretty much do all of those workouts. And I also like that with each of them, you have videos that accompany to say, this is what a Romanian whatever twist is, and I was like, what's that? So it's just like you have videos showing exactly what they are.
In the right form. Perfect.
Yep, absolutely.
Yes,
and the even cooler part is you're not doing it by yourself.
Yes, and everyone is doing the workout, and I love the chat in the chat feature. Just like, woo, today was a doozy, and I'm like, you're right. It was, like there's like people that can, right? People can comment on it. So yeah, it's really like a community feel. I really do like that. Brianna said, I like Bronson a whole lot more now that I know he was just as big of a disaster as the rest of them. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I feel that too. Yeah, that makes me laugh.
Well, he's just a normal
and here's the thing,
person.
Joe Ray says, and that no one would say anything to someone eating like that, like you used to, but freak out because we're eating bacon and steak. Exactly.
So speaking about that, so check this out. So when I owned my gym, when I went carnivore, and I had members quit my gym because I went carnivore and started talking about carnivore, and they said that I was going to kill people.
Oh, wow.
Wow. See, they just don't know. They're just so ignorant.
My gosh.
That was over 3 years ago.
Wow, but hey, telling you to eat, all of those fast foods and even oatmeal and orange juice, like, oh no, that's totally fine. Jen asked, Coach Bronson, was your journey completely linear, or did you have setbacks and restarts and comebacks?
Between both nutrition and fitness, a little bit of both. I think more on the fitness side because I'm a guy and we have a hard time letting go of our youth. So from the nutrition side, it was fairly linear. So I went, we talked about where I was. I started cutting out French fries, started cutting out processed foods. I followed what I think a lot of people that I've talked to followed. So I went the paleo route. I went the Whole30 route. My wife at the time was a 21-day sugar detox coach. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. So I did a 21-day sugar detox at one point. This was very close to right before I went carnivore. I was already Whole30, right? So whole foods, low sugar. And she did this thing, and I'm like, I don't really have much sugar to cut out. Like, what am I going to cut out?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, well, why don't you cut out that glass of bourbon you have every night after work?
Ooh.
Right? Like, do I have to? Like, what are you talking about? You know? So
That doesn't do anything.
here's the thing, guys. I was eating fairly healthy, right? I wasn't eating as much protein as I nearly do now, but I was eating whole foods. I was fairly low carb, pretty much zero sugar. I stopped drinking 1 glass of bourbon for 3 weeks. Okay. This is for anybody listening who's stuck on alcohol. Mm-hmm. In 3 weeks, 1 glass of bourbon, not even 5 days a week, maybe 3 or 4 days a week. Okay. I lost 10 pounds of body fat.
Wow. That's crazy.
Not 10 pounds of total weight.
Yes.
Wow.
On a body scan, I lost 10 pounds of body fat in 3 weeks just by stopping 3 or 4 days of 1 glass of bourbon.
That's crazy.
Right?
You know, and I'm not a drinker, and I don't have to struggle, you know, and I'm good. And I'm happy that that's not one of the things I had to cut out. But I realized I use like desserts and sweets the way other people use alcohol. Like I remember I would go out to eat with my best friend, and he would never order like an appetizer or dessert, but he would just have like a drink, like either a beer or alcohol with his drink and with his meal. And I'm just like, that's so dumb. Why are you paying that much for, you know, like a drink? But I would order an appetizer and I would order a dessert, you know? So just like, that was my equivalent, you know, I was like, I'll take a water, but you know, but I'll pay $9 for the brownie on this end. I'll pay $8 for the nachos on this end.
See how that thing can slide all over the place?
Yeah.
Everybody's cravings and wants.
It is. So I saw that, you know, it's just like, wow, we all kind of have our things. So I'm like, why would you drink? You know, like a drinking, I just can never grasp, but I can, Lord knows how much I can put back. Cause he's like, well, you're eating all of that.
You save up for dessert. Like, let's do
dessert. So nutrition was fairly linear. On the fitness side, that was an interesting journey. So I started going to the gym. I had no idea what I was doing. Going to the gym, lifting, it was more of a social thing than anything else. Really didn't see any progress. Went on a cruise for my 40th birthday and saw a guy working out at the gym. I was like, what in the world? He was like a monster. He was picking up stuff and throwing stuff. I'm like, what? You do? You're on a boat. What are you doing? You're drown somebody. Like, what are you? Ended up talking to him, meeting him, and he's from Miami. He owned a gym in Miami, a CrossFit gym in Miami, and he kind of just did some workouts and talked, showed me what it was and everything. And I was like, okay, I got to find this. Like, this is what I'm looking for, because it had a couple different things. It was varied enough. I was on the cruise for several days and we never did the same thing.
Yep.
Right. It wasn't boring. It was always something that was interesting and fun and high intensity. It wasn't just curls and buys and tries and bench and squat. You know what I mean? Like it was interesting. And then as I got into it, I realized that the community aspect of it was really, really super cool. So there's tons of other people.
Huge.
Yeah. The most important part, and this is what I try to bring into my program, the most important aspect of it is the coaching and the programming is done for me. Didn't have to know how to do anything. All I did is walk in the door, workouts on the wall. This is what we're doing. They lead you through it. Here's how you do it. Go for it. Have a blast. And then you go home and then you're done. Right. Yeah. So that's one of the big things I like to put in my program. And I like to talk about is, look, chances are nobody listening to this live right now is an exercise science specialist or has any training in how to build a program, how to move their body.
You're not anybody. Things. Exercise specialist, stand up in the comments.
Right. Right. So that's my job, is I want to take that load off of people, explain to them how they can improve their quality of life, because we're talking about what fitness is, and fitness has nothing to do, we can talk about it as we go, but we talked about the 10 components of fitness and all the different things that fitness is. Nowhere in the definition of fitness is there anything about what you look like, how much you weigh, if you have a six pack, if your clothes fit, any of that stuff. None of that stuff is there. right? The definition of fitness is all about what are you able to do and improving your ability to function in everyday life. So that's what I want to do for people, because people don't know how to do that.
That is so true. Jeannie says it's never too late. 3 years ago, I was a 73-year-old weighing 388 pounds, barely able to walk. Now I'm 76. I weigh 170 and could do CrossFit 5 times a week. Started with Bronson until I got the courage to walk into a gym. And that's another benefit. Jeannie, congratulations. But that's another benefit, is that you can do, for the most part, you can do everything at home.
Exactly.
So you can take the time to learn on your own. And because social, gym anxiety is real. I still suffer from it, especially when it comes to the weight, the free weight section. I spend all my time on the cardio or the machines. The free weight section with all the mirrors still causes me anxiety, right?
And that's where I live.
And that's where my husband lives at,
I'm
and he's
all
all
trying to be
he's like, yeah,
cordial.
some dudes were looking at me today, and I was like, don't worry, eventually you'll be able to do this. And I'm like, Richard, ain't nobody looking at you.
I said,
you say that every day.
Oh my God.
You were like, I was definitely the most ripped person there, but that's all right,
I was
So I love that, is that because I have weights downstairs in my basement. I have things that I'm like, I can just do all of these exercises here, And I love how there are a variety of different tools. It's like benches, barbells, bands, and things like that, that you can use. So it's really neat and versatile.
I agree.
Yeah. Most of the setbacks, getting back to the original question, most of the setbacks that I've had fitness wise have just been me not taking the time to prepare for movement, prepare for things, but also diet. So this is what's really amazing and what I've loved about the carnivore diet. So I've been carnivore for 3 years. I've been a CrossFit coach and a personal trainer for almost a little over 10 years. And so the first 7 years of my CrossFit experience, my fitness journey, was absolutely riddled with injury. Okay. And not because of CrossFit, right? It's just when you're active and you're doing things, you have a risk of getting hurt. So there are things that we can do that I know now that I wish I had known then, that things that I could do to improve my reducing the risk. But so let's see, I'm trying to think. So I had two torn calves. I had a pulled groin. I had 2 torn labrums in my shoulder. So both of my shoulder have torn labrums, not surgically repaired, just rehabbed. I have a herniated disc, 2 herniated discs in my neck. Okay. So these are all things that prior to carnivore were issues. Okay. I went months. So I was towards, I want to get my squat to a certain number and whatever. Great. Okay. Working towards that, pulled groin. Okay, that's done. Six months out, I can't squat, right? I'm trying to work on this other thing here. Okay, great. I can't do that. I got a torn calf. Okay, so now I'm out for 3 or 4 months there. It was just consistently getting set back and things happening.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep, it does.
The minute I went carnivore, everything changed. Okay, the minute, and like I said, I was already pretty low carb.
Exactly.
Right? So I was, let's see, I'm almost 50, so 46 or so, almost 47 when I went carnivore. I went from training. It took 3 or 4 months for this to happen, but I went from training 3 days a week and feeling like I got hit by an absolute train, like a train just ran me over. Okay. And dealing with all of these injuries. Okay. Consistently dealing with all these injuries. At the time I went carnivore, I was currently dealing with a second groin pull. Okay. Within 3 months, the groin pull was healed. It has never returned. Okay. I have torn labrums in my shoulders that have not been surgically repaired, but there's only one movement I can no longer do, and that's because I choose not to do it because it's not something that I need to do. Okay. Calves are fixed. I can train 6 days a week now. I've doubled my training volume, and I still feel like I could do more. And
wow, all due to cutting out
have gone
carbs.
Down. Just completely cutting out the carbs.
Wow. So what do you eat on a typical day?
Right now, I do about 1.5 to 2 pounds of some kind of meat, usually ground turkey or ground beef, some cheese, and maybe a protein shake.
I love that for you. I know.
I'm really
as simple as that. That's what I've
yeah.
always found. Like the simpler, the better, right?
Yeah.
So
now I love going out. So filet is my cut. So I go to Longhorn and get a filet more frequently than I probably can afford. Seafood. So I am a raw tuna fish connoisseur of sorts. So I like to drive around to different sushi places in my area and try their raw tuna to find out which ones I really like.
Y'all really might have a bromance. This is nuts. Like that does not sound. I am not food adventurous at all. Like absolutely not.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
No, well, that's
I can
awesome.
eat. So whenever I'm out with somebody, what are you gonna get? I'm like, I'm getting raw tuna, and then they're like, well, that's it. I'm like, yeah. And then the waitress comes over. She's like, what would you like? I'm like, can I get 4 orders of raw tuna, please? They're like, what? I'm like, well,
exactly. I was going to say, I was like, how much raw tuna do you
order,
to make a meal out of it? Yes.
Just keep it coming.
Exactly. No, that's hilarious. And that's awesome. And I love, keeping it carnivore, but like putting the variety in there. Yeah. If you like all that stuff. So that's great.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So Coach Bronson, we're coming up to the end of our time today. Like,
okay.
I feel like we just dipped our toe into what is
we can talk for hours.
But that's the good news. Like, as we continue to meet and talk on the first Wednesday of every month, we can like flesh out all of these different concepts and more and more. And as people have questions and things like that, they want to bring up. So thank you so much for joining us on Whack Wednesday. Everyone, be sure to comment if you have a question for Coach Bronson, like either the next time that he's on Whack Wednesday or what subject should we talk about next month for Whack Wednesday. And then also let everyone know where they can find you so that they can like reach out to you in the meantime.
So they can
yeah. So Instagram, I'm Bronson Dance 72. Facebook, I have a group. If anybody wants to join my group on Facebook, it's called Apex Health and Fitness. That's pretty simple. Big group there, Apex Health and Fitness. And then on YouTube, it's Get Fit with Coach Bronson.
Yes, it is Get Fit with Coach Bronson. I love that. It's like, what are we doing with Coach? What can we do with Coach Bronson?
I just started doing. So I may have gotten yelled at by some people that I consider mentors, and they said that I need to start doing more stuff on YouTube. So every Monday, every Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a live on YouTube, and then every Friday I'll be putting some kind of a video, either an interview or an educational video or something like that.
That is, I think that is, look, as an experienced YouTuber, as a semi-burnt out YouTuber, I think that's a great schedule. Like, I think that is a great thing that you can do. When Joe and Rachel, they're like, don't forget, we post at least 5 new videos a week. I'm like, where? Like, how?
Right.
How? Like, I'm not even going to.
Have you met Rachel?
My mom tells me, did you see that Joe and Rachel put this video on? Did you see the video they posted? No, I never see it because by the time I get to it, there's a new one out.
He has an energy for everyone.
It's crazy. So look, I think that is a great schedule. So Get Fit with Coach Bronson, and then Bronson Dance 72, and then Apex Training,
Apex Health and Fitness is the group.
Apex Health and Fitness. And then also don't forget, if you download the apps, and then there's like you're in the app too, responding to comments and doing stuff like that too. So that's really neat. Coach Bronson, thanks so much for joining us tonight. Thank you. Welcome to the WAC family. I was just once again such a pleasure to have you at Keto Palooza, and I'm so excited to work with you moving forward. So have a great night. And like I said, everyone reach out to him on all those various platforms. Also, once again, the link to his program is in the description. Both the programs are in the description box below. So click on those, and we'll see you next time, Coach Bronson.
Awesome. See you guys. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Oh, wasn't that great, you guys? We're only going to be on here for like a few more minutes, right? I'm going to read some comments.
We're going through a midnight hour.
Yeah, no, we're not going. We're not going to a midnight hour.
Like talking with Bronson after hours.
No, it's not. Talking from Bronson after hours. That's not a thing.
So let's talk about how much we did not like that entire thing.
No, that's not. That's not. Okay. That's not what we're gonna do. You're so funny. Yes. Susan said gym anxiety is a real thing. I'd go and meet a trainer, which helped me going by myself was a different story. Yeah, I feel like going to a gym with a trainer, I did that before. It gives you a different level of authority, like a different level of like, I'm here with someone that knows what they're doing.
Like so
I don't have to know what I'm doing because I'm here with someone that knows what they're doing. Right. And so, but then that also helped me build up my confidence and authority so that I could start going by myself.
Nice.
So,
no, I mean, I've always been the most cordial.
Yes.
Like I've been cold. People who have seen me and walked up and been like, so am I doing this right? And what's, I'm like, well, let me come over and help you, bro.
To which Brianna says, that reminds me, talking about Richard's weightlifting, that reminds me of the engagement video where Autumn has a video of her just agreeing with Richard while he describes how to lift weights. And she already knows. Thank you. Just the whole time. See, what you do is sometimes you can lift negative, and then that's when you go slow on the way down. Or sometimes you can do high reps with like, with a low weight, but sometimes you do like low reps, just a few of them with a high number of weights. And I was just like, yeah. Oh, negatives, you say, right? I was trying to catch me a man, right? We all do that.
Besides me and Coach Bronson understood that already. So he would be engaged and be like, you know what? You're right. You're right.
He knows that. Hard. He could just be like, I know that.
Well, why did you say that?
Because I was trying to flatter you and build you up and make you think that I needed you.
Set me up for the kill. Like you fat me up like a turkey. You fed me up for the kill.
Kathy P says, I'll watch the replay. Bronson, I'm going to email you. Yes, absolutely.
Yes,
Joe Ray says she just joined the group. Awesome. Kathy said, live on YouTube on your Apex channel. It's called Get Fit with Coach Bronson. That's the YouTube, right? Punch. Yes. No, not punch.
He's going to use a sound effect punch.
Shauna says, I actually feel like I can do Bronson's thing. I've been doing some of the movement stuff. Yeah, it's all really simple and practical, right? It's not complex. That's what he preaches.
Into your home.
Yes. Christina said, thanks, Coach Bronson, for your knowledge. Exactly. Sandra says, awesome session. Thanks, Coach. Exactly. I love learning.
Into your home. He knocks it all the way down to the level that you can see it. Where you ain't have to be like, what is up there?
Yes.
So he knocks it all the way down. It's like, just grab a chair.
Yeah.
Just do some squats on your chair.
Here's the thing I loved about Coach Bronson's approach at Keto Palooza. Right. It was, people think this stuff is so complex and technical, but just like he said earlier on the live, his answer to most things was like, that doesn't really matter for you. It does. You're not there. A lot of the things that people worry about are things that like highly specialized and or professional athletes and performers worry about. But I'm just like the everyday fit person that just doesn't really matter.
Heart monitoring frequency thing. I'm like, maybe if you're a swimmer trying to squeeze out another 2 seconds out of your Olympic swimmers, but if you're going to the grocery store to Costco to work.
Yeah,
I don't need my heartbeat needs to be so. No, just grab this stuff. Go.
B16 said, negatives. I did that yesterday, feeling it today. Yeah, and Richard can tell you all about it. Judy said, apparently it worked, hook, line, and sinker. I called him, didn't I? He married me, did he? Yeah, Brian said, make you think I needed you. That's all I was doing. I can. What? Oh, wow. You're so strong. That's all I have to do.
See, I don't know what to think anymore. What happened to my wife? I don't know what Coach Bronson had.
Lisa said, LOL, you were set up pro style. You know how we do just a little bit of sprinkle lady magic. I'm like, ooh, you're so strong.
Speaking of which, Lisa, your conversation was brought up today by Coach Bronson.
The fries. The fries were the first thing he cut out. That's crazy.
So you never know who can hear.
Yeah, and how you connect to that, right? That's where your story's so important.
Bronson used to go to Red Robin.
Joe Ray said she posted a video with some tips if you're thinking of joining his program. That's a great idea. Plus, Joe Ray also has an affiliate link if you want to join Coach Bronson. So look,
Ray is out.
She is out there doing everything, right? So look, if you click on my link, if you click on her link, just join the program is all I'm saying, right?
I have to agree.
Because I do just love the way that it's all there in bite-sized pieces, right? You don't have to wonder, what do I have to do today? They tell you what to do, and he shows you what to do in video form if you don't know. So,
and as you can tell, it's just super easy to talk to.
Exactly.
It's not like a huge,
super approachable.
You need to do this and put chains on your neck and swing them around and
He's not like that. Richard's like that. Coach Bronson's not like that. You're not okay. And that's the thing. You can also tell Coach Bronson really cares about education first, right? Like educating and helping you understand how and why to do the movements. Like that's the most important part of it all.
I completely agree.
Yes,
because bad form is the fast way to the hospital.
Yeah, like he said, all those things he was tearing. Yes. I was just like, oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. The first thing he's talking about, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Forever.
2 calves.
How do you stand if you don't have calves?
And I'm out.
Brianna said on Facebook, it's Apex Health and Fitness. Exactly. Find it on Facebook. And then Jerry said, and he's super responsive on the app. Yeah. I mean, it's really neat. The community. Look, I will say when I first signed up for the app, for some reason, I had my notifications to send me an email every time somebody posted a comment. I'd have like 35 emails, like so-and-so posted on today's workout. Like, I was like, why am I getting an email? Right. So now I keep it all inside the app, but it's really great to see. So
no, it really is.
Yes.
That's that community.
Yes, it really is. So everybody, thank you for joining me on Whack Wednesday. Don't forget, like we'll be going live with Coach Bronson the first Wednesday of every month. But in the meantime, there's tons of different ways to get in touch with him.
Wednesday with Bronson.
Yeah, Whack Wednesday with Bronson, right? Mm-hmm. So
sounds like a movie.
Sounds like a movie, TV show. Have a good night. Don't forget, you can catch us back on the Weathers Channel Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, okay? So have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Bye.